Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Football Stooges, the stupidest way to cover football imaginable.
And boys, it's stupid.
Very stupid indeed. We are nearing the end of the UFL's second inaugural season, and it has been doozy thus far. There's a lot of stuff we got to break down as far as how stuff is going to stack up going into the playoffs. And how things are going to change with that. And then a couple different tidbits of NFL news as we continue to trudge through the offseason. I cannot do this alone, so as always, with me are my compatriots in Studio 3. A little lighter this week, it's only 3 of us, but still better than none. Next up, my right-hand man and still painted minis. It's Macedon.
Chaos Marauder Horsemen are done. Now it's the Chaos Knights.
Oh, boy.
I got 10 of them.
And which number is that in your hand? 1?
1.5. 1.5.
Oh, boy.
Well, yeah, this one's not done. That's why. It's fuck trying to build these. It's fucking, god damn, some of the fucking, it's rough.
And last but certainly not least for this week is the one and only Kadoff.
Yeah, we're doing this a day early because someone decided to have his brother get married this week.
Well, no, this is my vacation. My brother's getting married later. My brother's getting married, excuse me, later in the year. But yeah, we'll also do this on a Wednesday, a little later in the year. Right, which reminds me, I forgot to fix the thing behind us. That's wrong. That is wrong.
Oh, you'll do it later.
Yeah, we'll fix it. I'll fix it at a different time. I should probably fix it mid-episode when we go to KDF News. Yeah, I'll fix it when we go to KDF News. That's wrong up there for just a second. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. We'll go to the crossover grid, talk about the UFL news, and then, we'll talk about KDF News, and then go through the UFL. So let's start out crossover. Oh.
We talking about from Bronx? Oh, using the Madden cover.
Oh, of course they would.
Peyton Hillis, teammate of Odell Beckham as a Brown. That could be so many.
You could do
Booker, no, Joe Thomas is already retired by that time.
How the fuck?
I'm trying to remember when he played.
Trying to do JOK.
Yeah.
Just do Jeremiah Owusu OWUSU. There you go.
That 1%.
Bill and a Brown. Frank Gore? Oh,
was Gore ever Brown?
I don't think he was ever Brown.
Nope.
Bill and a Brown.
No.
Yeah.
Fitzpatrick. Teammate of Odell Beckham that was on the Giants. I mean, that's just
Saquon.
Yeah, it's Saquon. You got Eli.
Saquon.
Teammate of Beckham and Von Miller. Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Found the Rams together. Yeah.
Teammate of Von Miller on the Bills. Let's do
Cook. James Cook.
Okay, teammate of Von Miller that was on the Broncos.
Demarius Thomas.
Eric Decker.
Yeah. 1.5 Eric Decker. All right. Some Bills. A Bills that was also a Giant, and a Bill that was a Brown.
I know Broncos.
Amari Cooper.
Oh, yeah, Cooper would work. And
Bills Giants.
Sorry, I don't know about Bills Giants. I know about Giants Broncos. Horsecock Lock.
Oh God.
Drew Lock. All right.
A Seahawks jersey.
And a Seahawks jersey, yeah. And then finally a Bill that was also a Giant.
Ooh.
Tough one. I don't think Jeremy Shockey was ever a Bill.
Try Eli Apple.
Was Eli Apple I know he was a Brown at one point. I don't know about Bill.
Nope, not Eli Apple.
No.
I thought. Oh no. Okay, he was on the Giants. I
Um,
know that. I'm
Who
thinking
was
of someone on
tough?
defense.
Someone on defense. No. Was Terrell Owens ever a Giant?
No.
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 That rules out the great Buffalo Bills legend Terrell Owens. Rudd. Tough.
This is a tough one. Uh,
These organizations were just like had a period of like when I was younger, they were just both so ass. Except for the Giants, every once in a while would win a Super Bowl out of the blue. Uh,
was Nathan Peterman on the Giants?
Oh, I don't know. Let's find out.
nope.
Damn it!
No.
He was. Oh, sorry. He was somewhere else.
I can't think of any good Giants that don't like. Yeah, though.
Just some meme pics.
I can't think of anything right now.
Neither have I. Oh, dude. Tyrod Taylor.
Oh yeah.
There it is, Tyrod Taylor. It was the best pick there. Eli Manning, Baker Mayfield, Matt Stafford, Josh Allen, Jerry Jeudy, Drew Lock. We got some of the big ones this time, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Anyway, let's move on now to KDF News.
This segment is brought to you by Citizen Cider because someone has to be drinking on the podcast this episode. All right, so starting out with injury news. Because we're doing this a day early, not all these are like full ons, but I can go by game here. So the first game is going to be Friday, Battlehawks and Defenders. For Battlehawks, you got defensive end Phil Hoskins out with a number of things: elbow, knee, and illness issues. And guard Steve Gonzalez also out due to illness. For the Defenders, all they've got are Anthony Hines, linebacker, out with his elbow injury. Wide receiver Cornell Powell with an illness, and safety Sam Kidd with his shoulder injury has had been going on. Next game, the early Saturday game, Roughnecks versus the Panthers. For the Roughnecks, we've got some more doubtfuls for cornerbacks Amari Marsh and Damon Arnett, as well as defensive end Tishon Bauer. And for the Panthers, their questionables are cornerback Adonis Alexander, wide receiver Devin Ross, and defensive end Kenny Willekes. That's the name. Next up, Renegades and Brahmas. Questionables for running back Devian Smith and linebacker Will Clark. Brahmas, they've got quarterback Kevin Hogan, which honestly he could just stay on the sideline for the rest of the season for all I care.
Rest of the career,
injury.
it's over. It's so over.
Yeah.
It's the sky's falling.
Exactly. Offensive lineman Sam Tecklenburg with an abdomen issue, and center Vitaly Gurman with a neck injury. And lastly, the Stallions. Their only questionable is defensive tackle Perry and Winfrey versus the Showboats, who their ones are wide receiver Kwame Lassiter with a hamstring issue, and cornerback Nehemiah Shelton with a hamstring and shin injury. So we'll see how that shapes up going into the weekend for them. As for the NFL, the only injury I can report on for them as we go into OTAs is Bills linebacker Joey Bosa, who's been apparently dealing with a minor calf strain, so he's not going to be available for voluntary ones. We're on to signing stuff, and I have a couple of people that are no-shows for OTAs. Bills running back James Cook, he's apparently seeking a new contract. And something I was going to get into for a little bit further down the card. Falcons quarterback Big Kirko has not appeared at OTAs, according to Raheem Morris. And there might be a bit of a reason that, because what I was going to get into is the Steelers with Rodgers watch. Absolutely nothing new of that has happened. Rodgers apparently has made multiple appearances where he's basically like, I'm still not sure about that yet. He's already said no, that he's not going to be signing with the Saints, so that cuts down that rumor immediately. But the other one is that Terry Bradshaw is apparently weighing in on this, the former Super Bowl winning quarterback with the Steel Curtain era. He's calling the whole thing a joke that they're trying to bring in Rodgers. So, which at this point it might as well be. It just become a media circus. Like, is he going to sign? Is he not going to sign? So there's a chance that there's been a rumor that if the whole Rodgers thing just completely falls through and he decides at the very last second, nah, I'm not going to play this year. I'm just going to retire. Kirk Cousins could be tapped for the new starter for the Steelers. What do you guys think on that?
It doesn't matter if they have Kenny Pickett or Joe Montana in his prime. They're going 9-8 or 8-9.
Yeah, it's gonna be another season of Days of Our Steelers, anyway. So,
just without maybe without the drama of Days of Our Steelers, just losing.
I mean, they'll find a way. There's something about that wide receiver room that suddenly turns somebody into a diva. They'll find a way.
True.
That's DK Metcalf's in there now, and he's kind of got a volatile personality. Anyway, signings, not too much on the free agency front. Falcons are re-signing center Ryan Newsel on a 2-year, $9.5 deal with $6 guaranteed. The Browns have signed their rookie first-round pick, defensive tackle Mason Graham, his standard 4 years for $40.8 million. And the 49ers bringing in 2 former Jets, punter Thomas Morstead and linebacker Chaz Surratt on 1-year deals. As for other stuff, a couple things involving the Patriots. Center David Andrews has announced he's retiring after 10 years in the league, all spent with the Patriots, ending his career 2-time Super Bowl champ, starting 121 out of the 124 career games he played in, and has 7 recorded fumbles. So, big piece of our O-line. I'm former captain. Congrats to you. Enjoy your retirement, buddy. What I'm not enjoying is another bit of news that surfaced with the Patriots over the weekend. There's apparently a video that's gone viral of our newly acquired wide receiver 1, Stephon Diggs, of him on a boat surrounded by lovely ladies flashing a certain pink substance that may or may not be pink cocaine. So the Patriots are aware of this. It's as they've been in contact with them about it, and all that they've said so far is Vrabel being like, just try to focus on accountability both on and off the field for what you do. So Stephon Diggs has definitely not done that right now, which is kind of a knock on him already for me.
He's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, it's also apparently that it looked at. I didn't exactly know what pink cocaine was. Apparently, it's the same shit that One Direction guy OD'd on earlier this year. Liam Payne or whatever the hell his name was.
Yeah, shit went down for him hard.
Yeah,
that was a falling joke, Kato.
Yes, I was trying not to laugh at it. Yeah.
I'm just thinking of South Park.
Mm-hmm.
Where like Cartman falls off the roof when he's trying to fly.
No, when Mickey Mouse is like, you got. Oh, fuck, I can't do the voice. Just watch South Park.
Just watch South Park.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's a dumb joke. Whatever. Okay, so that's dumb for that wide receiver, but good for another wide receiver. This one being the late Demaryius Thomas. The Broncos are announced that he will be inducted into their Ring of Honor this year. And only other bit of news I really have is so last week the owners meeting, they announced that the NFL players will be able to play in the flag football Olympic Games events this coming up in 2028. We've already got a bit of a weigh-in from the actual U.S. national flag football team, because of course there is one. Nobody follows it. This is coming from starting quarterback Daryl Doucette III, saying that it should be more focused on people that actually play for the national team to have a chance to show what they're capable of, and not have like outside help from another league come in. Which, in a way, that makes sense. I mean, that's from his point of view, like, because the NFL has already basically become a global product, even outside the Super Bowl in recent years. So I mean, whatever you stand on the side of that, and like, he does make a okay point about it. Also gives some people that you don't really see in the spotlight very often, because I mean, whenever you ever been at a sports bar and heard like something, hey, could you put the flag football game on? You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, that's really all I got. It's been kind of a light news week.
It is the off season, so besides the crazy party boats, it's just the off season. So God damn it! I don't want to install Adobe Acrobat computer. Fuck off.
Uh,
All right. And we're back. Thank you again for the news, Kidduff. All right. Here we are. First of 4 games, and oh boy, was this one a fucking bummer. St. Louis Battlehawks 39, Brahmas 13. Battlehawks still needed to kind of win this to maintain higher possibility of moving higher up in the standings going into week 10. So they didn't want to win this game. The Brahmas just want to win a game, period. They only won the whole year. And it did not happen today. Battlehawks at home took care of business. Duggan went 12 for 17 for 133 yards. 1 touchdown for a 113.1 rating. And backup quarterback Brandon Silvers also came in, went 7 for 10 for 100 yards, 1 touchdown, and a 134.4 rating. They ran the ball all over the Brahmas. Kevon Lutas, 8 for 66 and a touchdown. Javon Howard, 12 for 60. And Jacob Saylor, 6 for 33. Ja'Cour Pearson, 6 for 71 receiving. Hakeem Butler, 5 for 66 and a touchdown. Blake Jackson, 2 for 42. Frank Darby, 2 for 23 and a touchdown. Jacob Saylor's 2 for 15. To the Brahmas side of things, Kellen Mond, 14 for 26 for 103 yards, no touchdowns, no picks, and a 63.5 rating. Joshane Corbin, 14 for 85 on the ground with a touchdown. Adrian Robbins, 7 for 24. Kellen Mond, 4 for 20. And Jaden Sheardon, 3 for 10. Receiving, Dante Kirkland, 5 for 44. Marquise Stevenson, 3 for 20. D. Anderson, 2 for 12. Jacob Harris, 1 for 9. And Aiden Robbins, 1 for 7. This was just Brahmas the whole year. Offense just sputters out after maybe 1 or 2 first downs, and then the defense can't do a damn thing. We had 1 offensive touchdown, and that was a rush by Joshane Corbin. This game was just not competitive, and that's just been the Brahmas story the entire season. This was a game, though, that I did, albeit against the Brahmas, really like the improvement in pocket presence that Duggan has had. Duggan ran the ball once for 6 yards. And then he was only, I believe there were no sacks in this game for the Brahmas. So he was not sacked. He only ran once, and he still put up 113 passing yards and only 17 attempts with no interceptions and a touchdown. So, yes, this is against the Brahmas, who have not been great this year, but at the same time, competition at the league is still competition at the league, and so this is definitely a great game to build some confidence as well. Not saying that he wasn't confident, but at the same time, he has been a mobile, athletic type quarterback that now is seeming to play a much more pocket-styled game from this vantage point here. So, good job for him.
God, that fumble.
Golly.
I remember seeing that. It's like, damn.
Yeah.
That just came out of nowhere.
This is the Brahmas season right here. Yeah, and that just, again, as for the Brahmas, there's just we can't hold a candle to them. Offensively, defensively, drives sputter out. Teams rack up points. It's just been horrible.
Yeah, you guys just not been able to catch a break whatsoever this season.
Not at all. Not at all. I want the Garber baby back. Where's the Gerber baby? All right. We're just gonna move on from this. Get okay. One highlight. All right. Next up, the Arlington Renegades and the Memphis Showboats.
Delayed for 3 hours.
It was, but you gotta love it. Some bad weather there bad weather there in Memphis did cause that. What was also bad was the Showboats. Once again, they are also very winless. Well, not winless, but very low in the win column.
Hey, they beat the Brahmas.
Yeah, they're 2-7 this year. 30-12. 30-12 was the final score. Luis Perez and the Renegades get the win. They sadly still, I think, will be missing out on the playoffs, but at least they're going to get another win under their belt. Perez went 20 for 30 for 206 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a 108.5 rating for a 66% completion percentage. On the ground, Danny Hunter, 13 for 67. Marquez King, 1 for 37. Troy Jones Jr., 7 for 18. And Javonte Payton, 1 for 15 and a touchdown. Receiving, Tyler Vaughn's 8 receptions, 107 yards and a touchdown. Dante Burrett, 4 for 42 and a touchdown. Saul Canella, 3 for 25. Danny Hunter, 3 for 23. And Javonte Payton, 1 for 9, as well as Seth Green, 2 receptions, 2 yards, 1 touchdown. For the Showboats, he's back. E.J. Perry, 5 for 11 for 89 yards. Then no interceptions, no touchdowns, a 73.7 rating. And Dresser Wynn, 7 for 16 for 83 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception for a 34.1 rating. The winning time with pun intended, for the Showboats might be over. Deja Prince, 11 for 22. Jalen Jackson, 6 for 16 and a touchdown. Dresser Wynn, 2 for 2. Then receiving, Elijah Winston, 3 for 54. Elijah Stove, 1 for 49. Kwame Lassiter II, 2 for 29. Isaiah Heine, 1 for 12. Kais Loxley, 1 for 9. And Jalen Jackson, 2 for 8. Again, another struggling team in the UFL. The Showboats have had signs of more competition. They haven't gotten blown out as often. They've been much closer games. But Dresser Wynn, did not play great this game. EJ Perry was in, and it seems like EJ Perry has like the inverse Midas touch, where every touches turns to shit. It's just
got the touch. Please don't use it.
Yeah, it hasn't been great. But it was a much more competitive game. I kind of feel bad for Arlington. They have a pretty explosive offense at times. It's been inconsistent, but they could I could totally see them, if they got into the playoffs, being like an Eli Manning Giants team, where they just fuck around and go off accidentally.
I mean, they did it like a few years ago in the XFL.
They did, yeah, they did. So they would need to do it again.
An Orlando Guardians level game where they just have us eat lemons.
Yeah, I miss Orlando. So, oh my God, that's the fucking punter. Why would you try to dribble the punter?
No mercy.
Just standard.
Okay, the punter is actually kind of bigger than other punters. So
is this the thicker kicker? 42.
No, I thought he was on.
That might be him. That's a big boy.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah.
That's a big boy. Matt Coughlin. I think this might be him. Let me look him up. Oh no. Oh, excuse me. No, that is not him. No. He's just a bigger guy, I guess. Oh
my God.
Oh. First down and more, and he's running out of gas.
Sad thing is, though, I don't know if that was like a designed.
Let's take a look at that again.
That is a weird one.
That is their punter. That is their punter. That is Marquette King. That is their punter. He has had 3 punts for 132 yards and then one run there. Yeah, one run, 30. He was their that rush right there he made him the second leading rusher for the Renegades.
The same Marquette King that was the former Raider, right?
I think so.
Might be. This is football. But I mean, both situations kind of suck for both these teams. Showboats just were never able to win close games, and they got in a lot of them. And then the Renegades have this very talented offense that just has the consistency of an unleavened piece of bread. Just blech. It's just, they just can't keep anything going. So, yeah. That's really where we're left off with that game. We got one more week for each of these teams, and then they are officially done. Moving on, we will go to a really entertaining game: the Michigan Panthers and Birmingham Stallions.
Last week I was wrong. Michigan has not beaten Birmingham.
Oh.
Yeah, so that doesn't bode well for the playoffs because I believe they're in the same division. Or are they? I don't think so.
Yeah, I think they're both USFL teams.
Birmingham, Michigan are in the same, yes. And quickly looking at the standings, I don't think anyone's clinched home and field advantage for the first round. Because Birmingham and Michigan are both 6-3, St. Louis is 7-2, and DC 6-3.
Yeah, I think
no one's clinched. Yeah, no one's clinched. Yeah, no one's clinched the conference. Ooh, all right. Well, 22-26, the final score. Birmingham gets it done, beating Michigan, seeming the underdogs here. But this was also a Michigan Panthers team who was without MVP front runner Perkins. Oh, what was his first name? Why did I forget it? Bryce Perkins. Thank you, Bryce. I don't know why I just blinked on that, but Bryce Perkins. They were out Bryce Perkins with an ankle injury, so Danny Etling was starting. He went 22 for 39 for 235, 2 touchdowns, no picks, and a 93.4 rating. Very solid day from him. Running the ball, Tua, 12 for 46 and a touchdown. Nate McCray, 9 for 44. Danny Etling, 3 for 15. Receiving, Sosi Marner, 5 for 114 yards and a touchdown. Jalen Moore, 4 for 38. Malik Turner, 4 for 30. Cole Hikatuni, 4 for 28. Toa Tua, 4 for 15. And Gunnar Oaks, 1 for 6 for a touchdown. For the Stallions, Jamar Smith, 22 for 31 for 306 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, a 71% completion percentage, and a 123.9 rating. An amazing day as well for him. Rushing, Jamar Smith, 7 for 31. Larry Roundtree, the third, 4 for 20, and 2 touchdowns. And CJ Marvel, 9 for 17. Receiving, Cade Johnson, 3 for 82. Jalen Camp, 2 for 57. Deion Kane, 4 for 55 and 2 touchdowns. Amari Rogers, 2 for 32. CJ Marble, 3 for 26. Jordan Thomas, 1 for 17. And Davon Davis, 3 for 15. This was a shootout, old school quarterback shootout. I guess kind of new school because it's passing the ball, but yeah. Like the Michigan Panthers had 105 yards in rushing between 3 rushers. The Stallions had 68 yards rushing between 3 rushers. Even though there were 3 rushing touchdowns in total between the two teams, this was a passing game. 4 passing touchdowns between the two, 235 passing yards for the Panthers, 292 from the Stallions. It was a quarterback duel where both were clicking pretty well, but Birmingham was clicking better. They had a 71% completion percentage, while Michigan had a 59% completion percentage. No picks were thrown. Both teams were firing on all cylinders. Just one of those cylinders had 8 instead of 7, and that was the Stallions.
I don't know why 8 instead of 7.
Well, an 8-cylinder, a V8 rather than a V. Do they even make V7s, or is it? I don't even know. I'm not a car person.
V7 is a V8. That's misfiring on a cylinder.
Yeah, just all right. But this is going to be the possible rematch that we might see that we're going to see in the playoffs. Yeah. We're going to see the playoffs. Depending on how these two teams finish out the last week of the season, it'll depending on whether it's going to be in Birmingham, as this one was, or if it's going to be up in Ford Field in Michigan. The play of both these quarterbacks is amazing, especially both these guys not being starters in the first week of the season. Fucking turf monster just took you down, buddy?
Yeah,
what?
I think his season ended there. If I remember, Adonis Alexander.
Yeah, that was.
Number 19, yeah. Did he tear something?
Yeah. I can't remember what injury it was, but it was bad.
Yeah.
Really? 19. This is
Adonis Alexander, if I remember it.
Adonis Alexander, yes. Yeah, just non-contact. Something happened.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the injury.
Great way to poke the ball out there, though. Amazing job.
Okay, so he gets it. Kind of got a little tripped up. Not bad.
Well, that's a scary thing that you see when you see someone not.
All you need to do is put a server tray on the floor, and that's exactly how I fucked up my knee 2 years ago.
Oh, he's a Virginia Tech graduate.
Yeah.
Huh.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm not getting anything. It is hard to find injury news on the UFL.
Yeah.
It doesn't have as much press as the NFL, obviously. But
yeah,
that did not look good, just falling down when no one is around you kind of thing. That does look like something gave out, sadly. So if there's an injury, hopefully he is healed up quickly. But again, very good job by both quarterbacks here, neither of which were starters. Man, maybe it's just the field in Birmingham. Shit. Danny Etling, who was our starter at the beginning. Danny Etling might have been the starter at the beginning of the year, but again, he's not the starter now with Bryce Perkins playing amazing.
They were switching on and off between the first 2 weeks until Bryce Perkins be like, "Hey, I'm the guy," and they finally started him.
But then also Jamar Smith now taking over the reins for Matt Corral. And playing phenomenally. I mean, again, 71% completion percentage with no interceptions, 2 touchdowns, and 306 yards with a 124 rating, basically. Amazing performance.
Isn't he, Jamar Smith, the 3rd or 4th quarterback used for the Stallions because of injuries?
Yep.
Yeah.
And they found a diamond in the rough, apparently, because, this guy looks phenomenal. He's not obviously as, I think, athletically and elusively talented as Bryce Perkins is, but again, he also has a cannon. There have been multiple throws I've seen him throw.
Backup, unassuming quarterback that's coming in for a veteran that's been injured. Where have I seen this before?
Oh boy. Oh no.
Where have I seen this before? I feel like I've seen it for 20 years. And
Massachusetts, try not to mention Tom Brady at every third word, challenge impossible. But I'm excited to see the rematch of this. I think the rematch of this I will be seeing. I'll be on vacation because I'll be in 2 weeks, but that'll be like the end of the vacation, so that'll be fun to watch. So I'm excited for that. Fun to watch that with the family. And by the family, I probably mean just my dad and my brother because I'm the one that gives a shit about the UFL.
I might be out of it when my wisdom teeth gets extracted next week.
Yeah, go Eagles! It's UFL.
They still won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Super Bowl. Yeah.
I had 5 taken out, was eating steak, and had a metal show like within a day and a half later.
Ugh.
I'm taking a week off work because I'm like, yeah, if I'm hurting during work, I just want to get out. Like,
oh my gosh, what a catch!
I don't know how he caught that.
So how is he not down?
He was.
Should have been down. Should have been down. Yeah.
They let it go for the review to
They probably got on review like, yeah, he was already down. Never mind.
Yeah, no, it was on review.
On a streak, beats the man, underthrown ball, boop, 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 caught. What a... All right. But yeah, rematch in 2 weeks is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
All right, and then this one was a little interesting here. DC and Houston. We had a final score in this one of 21-24 in favor of the Roughnecks. This was probably because DC kind of let up a little bit, I think. They were playing.
They are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Kind of let them off the hook, and even with a late comeback, because they scored most of their points in the third quarter. 13 of their 24 points, Houston scored in the third quarter. DC scored 12 points in the fourth, trying to get stuff done, but wasn't enough to come back. 21-24, the final score. Houston Roughnecks get the job done in Houston, Texas. DC, Mike Delato was playing for a decent bit of the game. 17 for 29 for 206 yards. 1 touchdown, no picks for a 92 rating. Jordan Ta'amu, 14 for 22 for 163 and a touchdown for a 101.1 rating. And I believe this does not count as an interception because it is on a point after attempt. Somebody gets in. Oh my gosh. And that is a Mick Pick 2 right there. That is an interception in a 2-point or other conversion return for a touchdown, which is a 2-point pick 6, if you will.
I hate to see it. Now I'm suddenly hungry for McDonald's.
Yeah, hey, whatever floats your root beer. Rushing, Deion Jackson, 10 for 57 and a touchdown. Abram Smith, 5 for 14. Mike Delato, 3 for 9. Jordan Ta'amu, 2 for 7. Receiving, Cordon Powell, 8 for 104 yards and 2 touchdowns. Chris Rollins, 7 for 76. Brendan Marchand, 1 for 53. Ben Shannon, whatever. Briley Moore, 2 for 29. Seth Williams, 4 for 22. Javon Antonio, 2 for 22. Mason Fairchild, 2 for 19. And Jaden Mickens, 3 for 17. For the Roughnecks, Jaden McClendon, 21 for 30 for 232 and 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, a 70% completion percentage, and a 114.9 quarterback rating. Rushing, Linzo Lingard, 9 for 80 and a touchdown. Jaden McClendon, 9 for 23, and Zakir White, 1 for 4. Receiving, Justin Hall, 10 for 126. Kiki Chisholm, 3 for 24 and 2 touchdowns. Emmanuel Butler, 2 for 24. Cam Sutton, 2 for 19. Kirk Merritt, 2 for 18. And Jorquarius Spivey, 1 for 8. God damn it, Jorquarius Spivey.
See what name I can come up with for that one.
East-West Bowl.
I've got DeAlexander DeGratavius.
These names, man.
Electron Black and Decker.
So yeah, Kenneth, why don't you explain what the DC defenders were doing here? Because this is very reminiscent of the Packers like throwing in the towel against the Bears.
All right, hold on. Let me get the glasses on for this one. Let's see. Well, what happened here was honestly I couldn't fucking tell you. I really
It was like Jordan Ta'amu started the game, and then Mike DiLilio came in, and then Ta'amu seemed to finish the game, I think it was first half, second half, because you can see Ta'amu's still in, and then he's still in it late in the second.
Like, let's rest him a little bit, but then they remembered, oh yeah, we still have to play for home field advantage, and by then it was already too late. I couldn't fucking tell you, to be honest
And
with you.
Dilalo was there.
I don't want to say they're getting cocky with it, but if that's the case, they were getting cocky with it.
A little, yeah. I mean, you let a Houston team come and beat you. It's getting their 4th win of the season. So, good job by them and Jalen McClendon to get the win there. A great game by him. I mean, at 232 yards, 21 for 30, no interceptions, 115 rating. Nice, solid job.
I would say Houston did a minor mistake at nearing the end of the game here. It was like less than 2 minutes left. They were up by 7, I think it was, something like that. But they were like, this was inside the 10-yard line.
Inside the 10, they are up 24 to 15, so they're up 9. 2 minutes left exactly. They're running the ball here, then boom, he gets brought down.
It was a fumble, it became a touchback, and DC scored that the last drive and almost either tied it or almost won it. This isn't like Houston, you're an idiot. Like, I see what they were trying to do, but they could have just maybe run some more clock and then kicked the field goal, and they've been up by 10.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
again, still in here, this is the final drive of the game where like you could go out and win, and Mike Diallo is still in the game, or DeLilio is still in the game. Now he's doing a good job here. They're down, 22 seconds left, inside the 20, almost at the 15. Throws a nice slant, gets the first down, clock stops. They got 17 seconds. They get on the ball quickly. Plenty of time, yep. They set up, 15 seconds left on the clock, hikes the ball, inside handoff, doesn't work. They still got 2 timeouts. So they call one. He really quickly calls one. They got 9 seconds left. Doing a good job. Sets up from the right hash, trips left, one motion, looks there, throws a strike, touchdown, and now they're only down 3. So they have to get a 3-point conversion, which is from I believe the 10. Oh no, they don't even go for it. No,
they. Oh wait, I thought they did, and
no, they didn't.
It's 15 to 24, so they apparently failed a 3-point conversion, and then they immediately went for the onside kick, which in the UFL is 4th and 12 from their own 32.
Yep.
Hucked it up, and nobody home, and that was the game.
Yep.
So, definitely, I would say somewhat of like letting them off the hook a little bit there, but I don't think the worst thing in the world. But again, Roughnecks get the win, 21 to 24. Let's take a look before we go into our predictions. The standings so far. So Arlington, the Brahmas are eliminated in the XFL, and the Roughnecks and Showboats are eliminated in the UFL. So that leaves obviously the Battlehawks at 7-2 and DC Defenders in the XFL conference. They're 6-3. They're going to be vying for home field advantage. I believe if DC wins and St. Louis loses, they're going to then have DC have home field advantage. While the Birmingham Saints and Michigan Panthers are both 6-3. So whoever wins, if both wins, the Stallions will remain because they have the head-to-head record. But if the Stallions lose and Michigan wins and Michigan has home field, if they both lose, Birmingham still holds the top spot. And there's only 2 rounds in the playoff. There's your conference championship and the actual championship.
Also, this week 10, DC is faced against St. Louis.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. All right. Let's just get into our predictions then.
Schedule.
There we go. All right.
Oh.
So, quickly looking at our scores thus far. We'll go from the bottom to the top. Gorlami is 25-13, went 3-1 in week 9. Then myself 29-13, went 4-1 in week 9. Before that I went too fast. Maston is 27-16, went 2-2 in week 9. Then Mamba, week 9 went 3-2, is 35-10 overall, and still at the top. Kada 43-8, 3-2 overall in week 9. Probably the worst week thus far for Kada. 2 losses is one of the worst weeks.
All of us got one of the teams wrong, and it was just he said DC over. No, I think we all picked DC or something. It was something.
So Friday night tonight for then when this is airing is going to be DC and St. Louis. This is a big game to watch. It's in DC. This is a tough one. These two teams. This seems like the biggest rivalry I think in the XFL. I feel like it's a pretty big one. St. Louis and DC, red and blue kind of style. Well, this could go either way. I will take DC. They're at home. I like Tamu. I like what they're kind of doing. Their defense has been very good this season, except for 2 weeks ago where they just dropped an egg. So I think they really need to turn up the heat there and get a win. I think they can do it. They just got to come out and play like I know they can. So I'll take them by 5.
St. Louis by 4.
Got to give it to the defenders. Have a nice comeback game there by 3.
All right, Roughnecks and Panthers. Even without Bryce Perkins, which he could be back for this game, I don't know if they will play him just to rest him for the playoffs. I do think the Panthers are going to win this game, and they want to win this game in order to have a chance at getting the home field advantage if St. Louis can pull off a win. So I'll take the Panthers in this one by 7.
Michigan by 4.
Kiddo.
Oh, sorry. Give me the Panthers by 7.
All right, next up, the Arlington Renegades and San Antonio Brahmas. This is from San Antonio, Texas. One more time, San Antonio. Just give me 2 wins on the season. Get it done. San Antonio by 1 in overtime.
Arlington by 4.
Yeah, give it the Renegades by 10.
And last but certainly not least, the last regular season game of the second inaugural season of the UFL was the Birmingham Stallions and the Showboats. And the Titanic is sinking. Stallions by 34.
34?
34. Lock it in. Take it to the bank.
Okay, you said 3-4. It's like, are you saying 34 or 3-4? Like, what are you trying to say? Birmingham by 4.
Birmingham by 15.
All right. And that wraps up our predictions for the next week. And that's going to wrap up the episode. Quick little episode this time. Nah, I decided to give Maston a break for Memorial Day. He's happy. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. It's been a quick one, but again, the UFL season is coming to a close. Next week, there might be an episode released. I will not be here, so if it's one, it's going to be one that's hodgepodge together by somebody else. So get ready for a wild time if it happens. So we'll see how that goes, but enjoy the episode, enjoy the end of the UFL season. We'll be back either next week or the week after with our regularly scheduled programming. Whoa. So enjoy football, enjoy the warmer weather. I hope you enjoyed Memorial Day, and most importantly, run the damn ball. Have a good night.